have to say, Rich, I'm very impressed with your ball striking now. So I hope those few tips worked out for you. And so let's kind of review what we talked about. The first thing we went over is our setup.
Okay.
And explain to me what we did with your setup here.
Well, my alignment was good with the feet, knees,
Yeah.
hips. My shoulders were closed as a natural predisposition.
Okay.
So in practice, it worked out good after a couple swings. I need to consciously think about going through my normal setup process and then making sure that my shoulders not necessarily have to be open to the line, but at least not be closed, which is what my tendency is. So I'll over-exaggerate.
Yeah.
From here to there is better.
Perfect. And every time we set up to the ball, what we're going to do is we're going to go with our normal stance.
Right.
And we're going to consciously open those shoulders so that we know that we're doing the drill that we need to be doing.
Gotcha.
And so what you need to do for that is while you're hitting on the range, again, I would say every single one of your shots, let's start off with our normal stance and let's open that shoulder. And so that's what you need to work on when you're out on the range doing that.
Right.
All right, what did we cover next as far as your in-swing goes?
Well, I was a little bit out of sequence.
Yeah.
And I need to get to the top of the backswing and let the hips go first before the hands. And that allowed everything to stay in place.
Perfect.
And you know, that was actually everything we covered today didn't feel that awkward to me once we transitioned into it. 2 or 3 swings, and I was very comfortable with all. I mean, I was happy with the results.
Good.
It felt good. At address, I mean, I won't lie, at the first time you do it, it feels different.
Yeah.
So therefore it makes it uncomfortable. But a couple swings, and while it's not ingrained yet, it's very doable. And the ball striking and the ball flight shows me that it's the right way to go, and those are the tweaks that I need.
Good, good. Well, we don't want to tweak anything too significant. You're already a really good player. We just want to make some minor adjustments that make you a little more consistent.
Am I better than
Hey, Rich. Good to see you again,
Ben.
man. Welcome
How are you,
back.
buddy?
I'm good. I'm
Thanks.
good. So last week we met. We kind of went over full swing a little bit. Have you been practicing at all since we last
I got
met?
3 practice sessions in since then now. 45 minutes each.
All right.
That's a lot for me because
Yeah.
I don't have a ton of free time.
Yeah, with your busy schedule, that's impressive. So how was
Plus,
it?
if I had a better staff, I could take more time off to practice, but they're all slacking, and
Steve. All right.
I'm just teasing.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. All right, so how did it feel? Were you able to still practice the things that we worked on? And
Yeah,
did you get some
the
good results?
sequencing is really easy for me. The part that I really have to focus on is keeping the shoulders square.
Okay.
Because I know I set up with a propensity to be closed. I always have, it's almost like it's ingrained in my brain to open my shoulders. I have to move my legs too.
Okay.
And I got to remember to keep my legs
Yeah,
right
yeah.
and kind of slowly do that because for some reason, I mean, I've always had active legs.
Yeah.
More so than necessary. And I get away with it by making up for it in other areas.
Yeah.
But my legs just like to move.
Okay. All right, good. And you remember what we worked on? And you did both of those drills?
I practiced them both
Good.
all 3 sessions.
Awesome. And how'd you see the ball, or how'd you see your ball striking improve, or did it not
Well,
improve?
honestly, I've hit it pretty consistently since then. I mean,
Okay.
there's not a lot of variation. I didn't hit everything perfect, but they're all acceptable shots.
Okay, good.
You know, so if I'm not flag hunting to corners, and
Yeah.
I'm going middle of the green, if I was, depending on the hole I'm picking, I'm going to be hitting most of the greens in reg.
All right,
But
good.
at least with the iron shots. So,
Good.
so that's good. I mean, if I go flag hunting, then I could have questions.
All right.
Potentially, if I don't execute right, but
Yeah.
overall, I executed to a very high percentage relative to how much I put into it so far.
Well, good.
So I'm happy.
Good. All right. Well,
Where are we going to this first
so
hole?
yeah, let's go to this first hole. And what I've done is I've put tees around the hole.
Okay.
And in a sense, I'm calling this the Rich Smith gimme zone.
Okay.
All right. That's 3 feet and in. I don't think I've ever seen you miss a 3-footer
Okay.
since the entire
I
time
have,
I've known
but
you.
I have, but you just haven't been there for
Okay,
it.
good. Well, good. Well, right now, for all purposes for this drill, gimme zone for Rich Smith is 3 feet.
Okay.
Okay. So let's hit some shots. We're going to try to get it in Rich Smith gimme zone.
All right.
Okay.
Now, if I chip in the first one, can we go right to flop shots?
Yeah, we can eliminate this one. We'll go. Awesome, awesome. And when you're practicing, kind of go through your practice routine when you're practicing on your short game. Talking about short chip shots and short pitch
Right.
shots around the green.
Well, actually, I pretend I'm playing. I don't think of it as practice because, frankly, I find practice boring.
Yeah.
I try to hit every shot as if I'm on the golf course.
Nice.
I really do. And I
Yeah.
picture one of my buddies there, could even be you or Steve or
Yeah.
one of my old-time friends from 30 years ago, and I put myself in a mental position where if I don't make this, I lose the hole.
Nice.
Now, I don't make a high percentage of them.
No.
You know, if a chip shot like this, you're going to make 1 out of 20
Yeah.
for a great player. I made 1 out of 4.
That's pretty
So what's that
impressive.
mean?
Yeah.
But
That's
anyways,
right.
all jokes aside, you know, I like to feel when I practice, especially short game, like I have to make this. Or I just gotta hold it. That's got a chance.
Oh, get in there. All right, good. All right, now that was your second one in there. So all right, Rich. Well, I hope you enjoyed yourself today, and I
Thanks,
hope
man.
you got some good tidbits out of it. So today we covered a little bit on pitching and putting, and what we really focus on there. Now you have a technique that's pretty solid already, but what I wanted to do was introduce something that's a little bit new, and maybe help you create some feel with some other clubs in your bag.
Sure.
So you're the standard guy. A lot of people do this, and I've been guilty of it too. Grabbing 56 no matter what, whether it's a thin lie, thick lie, no matter where you at or are around the grain, grabbing that 56 because it's easy and convenient for us. So what I want to challenge you to do, and that we did today with some drills, I want to challenge you to utilize some other clubs in your bag, so that way you can develop a feel for all of them. And then the one drill I really want you to do is the one and done drill.
Okay.
All right, so if you could do that, you said you practiced 3 times for about 45 minutes. So let's go ahead and incorporate about 15 minutes at least on that drill alone.
Okay.
All right, and then the other thing that we focused on today was a little bit of putting. So
I like the clock drill with the T in the middle.
Yeah, so now that's one that I really want you to utilize, because that's going to allow us to aim small and miss small, and that's really what it's all about. And you're a field putter already, so we didn't focus a lot on technique, and to be honest, you roll it pretty good already, and I don't want to mess with that. So what you really need to focus on is doing proper practice that really helps you get better.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to do the one and done drill with pitching and chipping around the green, and then we're going to do the clock drill where we're focusing on a left edge, right edge, or center of the hole.
Okay.
All right?
I can do that.
I look forward to seeing you again next week. Next week, we're going to focus on a little bit of ball flight, kind of
Okay.
making those variations. So prepare yourself for that. But in the meantime, practice what we first worked on with our full swing, and then what we just worked on today with short game. Practicing what we talked about.
You bet.
The first lesson, we talked about, we did a little alignment adjustment. You said that's
Yes.
the one you're having the most difficulty with.
Right.
Now, the swings that you're making when you do get aligned properly and your shoulders open, are they still feeling comfortable?
Yeah, very solid.
Good,
Yeah.
good, okay. All right, and then we talked a little bit about sequencing.
Right.
So we just wanted your hips to go before your shoulders, and you still have no problems with that?
No, none whatsoever. That was a
Yeah.
very easy adjustment.
Okay, good. All right, and then short game, I challenged you to utilize maybe some different clubs than you normally do.
Yeah, and it's not the outcomes I want,
Yeah.
because I'm very comfortable with my 56 in most circumstances that are green close.
Understood.
But I'm still trying it.
Okay, no worries.
It's hard to hit a flop shot with a 7-iron from 10 feet.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I have been trying.
Yeah, that might be a little unique, all right? You only pull that one out when you want to impress your friends.
After all, I'm not Phil Mickelson, mind you.
Yeah, okay. A little bit better than Phil, though. Next week,
Okay.
today we worked on ball flight a little bit, and you have the drill down pat. Actually, you didn't miss a single shot when trying to shape it back to the target, so maybe give yourself a little more challenge, and you can really kind of narrow those gaps a little bit and try to land it in a certain target point, because you ace that drill.
Right.
And then also, last time when we did short game last week, I challenged you to utilize different clubs. Let's continue doing that.
Okay.
All right, so you can develop a little bit more feel with that. And then lesson number 1 that we did a couple weeks ago, we really focused on your alignment. And what was really we needed to work on was your shoulder alignment.
Okay.
And so make sure you're still doing that. And then also sequencing, which you said you have no problem with right now.
No, I feel
and
very
based
good
on
about
those swings that you made, I mean, some improvements have been made, some big improvements.
Awesome.
So, good work. I hope you're seeing results out on the golf course, if you're ever getting out to the. All right, but today we're going to focus a little bit on the mental approach of the game. And a lot of the stuff that I'm going to use, you might have heard from your good buddy, Dr. Bob, already.
Okay.
So I've picked his brain a bunch, and I've utilized a lot of his techniques too. And I think everybody can utilize them to some aspect, and most people do. They just don't have the funny, catchy names that Dr. Bob has for everything.
Right,
here. So, the first thing we're going to kind of talk about is just kind of we're going to go over your setup, and we're going to go over the routine that you take to the golf course for every swing.
Okay.
So kind of do your routine for me,
Right.
and then kind of walk me through it. Explain to me what you're doing and what you're thinking about when you've already warmed up.
Right.
So how's your swing feeling, and what do you think it's doing? Is it consistent with what you've done in the
Yeah,
past?
it's good, but now we're going to play golf.
Yeah.
I pured everything on the range. Now I'm the type of guy that when I warm up poorly, it means I play great on the golf course.
Yeah.
I don't always take hitting it pure from the range to hitting it pure on the golf course.
All right.
I won't know till I'm a hole and a half, 2 holes in.
All right. And one of the things, too, that we're going to address is something just like that, because I have a student, actually a buddy that you know,
Right.
Steve Morris,
Okay.
that has very poor self-talk. And now one of the most
Well,
important
not only that,
things-
but he's got no technique.
Yeah.
He's not very skilled. He's never been good anyways.
You know, he is the total package in the opposite direction.
Yes.
So-
If there's an opposite of Tiger Woods, it would be Steve Morris.
I'm pretty sure you're correct on that one.
Yeah.
And according to Charlotta Sorenstam, he has a classic swing.
That's a nice way of saying, God, that guy sucks.
Exactly. All right. But his self-talk, one thing I want to talk about, when he gets up there and he addresses the ball, you know, he has a lot of self-doubt. And what I want you to eliminate is self-doubt in general. And even something as small as, you know, hey, when I hit it pure on the range, it doesn't always translate to turning it onto the
Sure,
golf
yeah,
course.
that's negative self-talk.
So let's turn that into positive from now on. And we're almost gonna disgust ourselves by how positive we are towards ourselves.